Hey writers, it's Robin. I'm a teacher and a children's book author, and I teach you everything that I've learned from my editors so that you can learn writing quickly, easily, and you're going to learn it step by step. And today we are going to get into the next session of our figurative language series that we've been working on. Now, you might already at this point know the definition of figurative language, so you might want to pause from time to time and just test yourself and see if you remembered some of this. Figurative language is essentially figuring something out rather than stating it directly. So it's like a puzzle for your reader, and they like to connect these two things. It's fun to try and figure out what the writer meant. We've been looking at 4 types. One is similes, metaphors, hyperbole, and the 4th one is personification, and that is the one that we're going to take a look at today. So personification means it's figurative language that will bring your writing to life. And when I say it brings your writing to life, it's kind of a joke. So you'll see when you hear the definition of it. Personification is, according to the dictionary, giving human traits to something that is non-human. So I underlined the word person in personification so that it reminds you that you're giving it human traits. So you think of a thing, like it could be wind or a pencil or potato chips, and have it do something human. Now, oftentimes when we think about objects doing human things, we think about movies and movies that are like Disney movies or Pixar movies, right? Oftentimes that's what they use for their storylines. However, that's not just personification. It's a type of personification, and it's called anthropomorphism, another very fun word to pronounce. And so basically what that means is human and change, so that the animal or object changes completely into a human. So that's kind of what you see in a Disney or Pixar movie. We're going to take like a little side field trip here because I do want to show you the difference between the two, because it's super important to understand that one is anthropomorphism is under personification. It's a type of it. So when you have personification, basically you're going to give a human trait to something that is non-human. Okay. And in anthropomorphism, you are making something fully human, like human the entire time. Personification is used in parts of your story, like in the description of a certain thing or item or moment. But anthropomorphism is in a whole story. You could say the wind whispered, or a talking dog is going to run for mayor. So that's anthropomorphism, because the whole story is about that. A pencil begged not to be used. So that line or that sentence could be used in your own story, but it's personification. If you have a pencil that walks and talks and has a best friend and a whole origin story, then that's the whole story, and that's anthropomorphism. So personification is like you're sprinkling in a little bit of humanity into your personal story, whereas anthropomorphism is totally human-like the entire time. So let's take a look at how you would do this. So if you thought about like wind or pencils or potato chips, then you try and have them do human type things. And that might be something like dance or whisper or yell, throw a tantrum, wish, wink, sigh, all the things that humans do that typically other animals don't usually do. Okay, let's look at the difference between the two here. If you said the thunder was loud and scary, there's no figurative language in there. There's no figuring anything out. It's just straight up, you're just telling us what it is. But if you were to say the thunder grumbled angrily as it rolled across the sky, what is the human trait that's been added? Grumbling and being angry is kind of a human thing that we do, right? So grumbled angrily is a way to make it more like visual for your reader and to create like a little puzzle for them to figure out. So we are going to do a little glow up here of this one. The leaves moved in the wind. So you might want to pause here and see if you can do some of these. Instead of the leaves just moving, what is something that they could do that typically only humans do? The leaves chased each other in the wind. So chasing is something that you could imagine like little kids doing under the tree. Let's do a quick quiz here. All right. Which one of these is personification? Is it A, the sun was shining brightly, B, the sun was hot and high in the sky, or C, the sun smiled down on the field? If you said C, you're correct. Humans smile. Typically, most animals don't, except for maybe dolphins. If you can think of any other animals that smile, let me know. But smiling and laughing is our thing. You're going to try it now. The computer screen was dark, so it's not lit up. It goes away. So what human type thing would a computer screen do if it was feeling moody or tired? So pause here and write your own piece of personification. All right, we have a computer screen that was dark. Here are some options. The computer screen refused to wake up, sulking in silence. The screen stared back at me with a blank, tired expression, as if it needed coffee too. So identify which one of these is the human trait in each sentence. Refusing to wake up and sulking, very human. Staring back at you with a blank expression and needing coffee, very human. Let's look at it in action in Percy Jackson. The ground shook and laughter came from the earth. So laughing, again, also is a human trait that only we do. We're going to do a review of the 4 types of figurative language that we've been learning in this series. I'm going to give you the word, and then I want you to pause and see if you can come up with a definition in your own words. So kind of give yourself your own quiz here. So a simile, what does that mean? It's a comparison using like or as. What about metaphor? It's a direct comparison. There's no using like or as. You just say it is or was or were or are. Hyperbole. Hyperbole is extreme exaggeration. Very fun to write. And now, personification. What does that mean? It means you're giving human traits to something non-human. So here's your challenge. Pick one of these topics and use personification to describe it. So you have an alarm clock or a stormy day or a locker. Think of like what they're like. What do they sound like? What does it make you feel? All those types of things. And you could do several pieces of personification before you pick your final one. And then you'll start revising it and you'll make sure that you used a human trait and that it's kind of impossible for that object to actually do that. And did it emphasize to make it more dramatic or humorous? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And teachers, make sure you look below for the worksheet to go along with this skill.